Collective round of applause for our panel. As we bring a close to our exciting and innovative sessions, I'd like to offer some, not offer, but I'd like to invite some members of the audience to give some reflections on some of the areas that we would have spoken to over the past 3 days. I'd like to invite Ms. Annette Onot, General Secretary of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, to lead us off in our reflection session. Ms. Knott, please. In addition to Ms. Knott, I'd like to also invite Mr. Mactier Gabriel and Professor Coakley. Can you join us with our reflection section? Leading off in our reflections, I'll ask Ms. Annette Knott to bowl the opening over.
Thank you very much. And I feel honored that I've been given this role on reflections because sometime today I was angry and aggressive. So I think I really do feel quite honored. As the Secretary of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee, I feel also that I am in a position after 40 years of sports administration to perhaps have some experience in sport, and also to say that I was one of the students from the first cohort of students for the postgraduate diploma, FIFA postgraduate diploma, and also the masters. So I actually came here because I almost felt that I had a duty to be here over the 3 days to ensure that sports studies and higher education really will push us forward. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. I think there's so much going on outside, but what we do need to do, as many of our presenters said, is that we must ensure that our culture, our way of life, is ingrained in what we do. So we don't just take something straight from Australia or straight from England, because we're not. We're Caribbean people, and we need to ensure that whatever we do ensures that happens. And I wrote down three words, and I realized that corporate social responsibility, and you think, well, where's she coming with there? Actually, it's collaboration, sharing, and research. And that's not hard to remember. And I think from this conference, and we really have to thank the UWI, First Citizens, and everybody who sponsored. I think we need to give them a round of applause because we had the value of so many wonderful presenters starting from Wednesday, and I'm not giving the vote of thanks. I'm just giving the reflections. Starting from Wednesday, right through up until the last few minutes. And we can come to these conferences, workshops, and you can imagine over 40 odd years in admin that I've been to quite a few. And we say, oh, and we talk a lot about it. What I'm asking everybody here, besides the research agendas, etc., that will come out of it, I'm asking each and every one to do one action, just one, and it may just be networking, emailing a member from Texas or emailing one of the presenters to get some more information. Just one action from this conference that will ensure that sports move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Knott. Could we now hear from Gabriel Mactier from the Ministry of Sport?
Yes, it is.
Ministry of Sport.
Good afternoon to everyone. As I hear my colleague beside me mention about 40 years of experience, I feel like quite a baby in this thing. And one of the striking things that I took note of, having come back in 2005, doing my first degree in physical education and sport in Cuba. And I give muchos saludos a mis compañeros that are here. You come back with a lot of ideas and a lot of concepts, and you feel that you have all the solutions and you want to do everything, and the energy is very high. And then you start to discuss things with persons who have been in the industry quite a while, and you realize that your ideas are not new. Your concepts are not fresh. And the things that we would have learned and we would feel are the solutions to go forward have been bantered about and talked about and argued about and cussed out about for 20, 30 years. And you reflect and you ask yourself, why have we not pushed forward more with all the plethora of ideas that come forward? And how do we now provide solutions and provide proper implementation to these ideas and concepts? In essence, I'm saying that in terms of being specific to the conference, this conference is very long overdue. But I am so grateful for it to occur and to be part of it in some respect, because it presents a very important opportunity for the development of sport in Trinidad and Tobago if we take the bull by the horns, as the expression goes, and really buckle down to do the necessary work. We have had, and I hear it every time we have the ministry has a workshop, or we try to get national governing bodies together to implement a policy, and there's always the fear of a talk shop. There's always the fear of just another talk shop. And having an opportunity to have been on the planning committee for this conference, I know Professor Reddock has been very, very adamant that this particular conference just doesn't allow people to talk about issues, but to provide solutions and recommendations and to do the necessary networking and collaboration with at least the heads of our various sports stakeholders to carry these recommendations into implementation stage and sustainable implementation stage. And I focus on the word sustainable. Because again, we have had many projects started, we have had some programs started, and usually, for various reasons, the sustainability, the sustainable implementation of these programs are not there. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we have not taken the scientific approach, the research approach to having baseline data and the proper monitoring and evaluation of the programs, the projects that we try to implement. And a lot of them, sometimes due to financial problems, sometimes there's a bit of political immaturity that takes place, either at government level or the level of administrators, that affects how well we are able to continue some of the good work that has started and to really implement the program, implement the ideas that many of the persons we have would put forward. It was very satisfying for me to see many of my colleagues present. Well, I shouldn't say many of my colleagues. I should say many of my younger colleagues of a younger age demographic, present, due to the fact that I always say the sport family here is very tight in Trinidad and Tobago, and we all more or less know each other. So it's good to see a lot of my younger colleagues present, because I think that we have a very wide-ranging pool of human resource right now in Trinidad and Tobago. We have a number of young professionals, and we have not really been using them. We don't really know them in some cases. And all of this provides the platform, including this conference, really provides the platform for us to jump forward, to make a certain quantum leap forward, especially based on the level of talent that we have in Trinidad and Tobago, which is infinite, really and truly. So this conference is, as I said, a wonderful opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago to make strides. It wouldn't happen, of course, next year or maybe the year after, but I think if it is we are visionary, within a 5 to 15 year time span, we should start to see some major shifts in terms of how sport is planned, implemented, evaluated, and the results that we are capable, I mean really and truly capable of achieving at the international level. So there are certain things I would have liked to have spoken about, but I know time, of course, is short, so I won't get too much into them. However, I really would like to thank UWI, thank the University of the West Indies, the First Citizen Sport Foundation, well, of course, the Ministry of Sport, the Sport Company, University of Trinidad and Tobago, and all other partners, collaborators in this venture. And I beg that this collaboration doesn't just stop at this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. McTeer. And now our final reflections from Professor Coakley.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
And it's been a privilege, by the way, to meet many of you and share ideas over the last couple of days. And I can tell you that in my long career, I won't talk about the number of years, but in my long career, I've gone to many, many conferences, and I can say with sincerity that I haven't learned more at any of those conferences in 2 days than I've learned here, and I came here not knowing exactly what to expect. I did a little homework, but I came with an open mind and a sincere curiosity about the people and the culture of the Caribbean, and I also came here with a sense of responsibility in connection with my comments on Wednesday night. A responsibility to let people know that if you are going to spend public money to create a sports studies program at a state-sponsored institution, that you should think very long and hard about what your role is. And I wanted to challenge people to think about their ideas about sport and what they should be doing as people in a sports studies program. I think what I've found out over the last 2 days is that the people who are doing work here are certainly able to contribute to the production of sports studies knowledge on a global basis. I don't think you have to apologize to anyone, or I don't think you have to feel like somehow you're not as capable or as competent or as up on things as other people are. I think you should think about going to more international conferences so that you can prove that to yourself. So I think that the sports studies program that is being, or that sports studies in general in the West Indies and at this university in particular is going to provide an institutionalized structure within which serious thinking, critical thinking about sport and its place in society and culture can occur. And once you have that institutionalized structure, it gives all of you a little bit more legitimacy in the rest of the world. And it also, if you do research in order to back up what you're saying in connection with your program, it will give you just a little foothold within the realm of power, not just in the West Indies, but also on a global basis in connection with sport. But to take advantage of that foothold, you're going to have to do good quality research, good critical research, regardless of your discipline. And I think that this conference has indicated to me that there's an openness to interdisciplinarity that maybe doesn't exist in other countries, and that would be one of your strengths. So, you know, people have talked about talking with each other. We now have the technology to do that, not just from island to island, but certainly from one part of the world to another. And that we have to take more advantage of, regardless of where we live. So I think I can tell you that from my perspective, looking at the future of sports studies in the West Indies generally,